is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball discussion. Today I'm joined by Detective Q. You might know him as Kwame. You changed your name. Go ahead, announce it. Please announce it. For love of God, tell people.
I just thought that it was time to change my name to something more recognizable, and I'm Detective Q now, but I still call myself Kwame in videos, so you don't have to change calling me anything.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple people ask me what happened to Kwame. I was like, no, he's still there. You just changed his name. Here's your official announcement. Okay, today I want to talk about something interesting that I thought about. It is a theory, of course, so and I want to get your thoughts. And also, feel free to let me know your own feedback and opinions and speculations and theories, whatever, in the comment section below. Everything is welcome because this is your time to talk about it at an open floor. And I do not want anybody bashing each other because opinions and speculations and theories are different from one another. I want you guys to understand and communicate. This is what we do on the community. Sometimes it gets a little too heated and passionate, but it is what it is. We still love the series. Today I want to talk about Super Saiyan Rage. Now, let's start this way. Kwame, what was the most popular theory explaining what Super Saiyan Rage is? So let's start there. Break that down. Just a quick summary.
Well, people thought that when Trunks trained with Vegeta, by Vegeta sparring with him, Trunks somehow got a sense of what God Ki was like, and then he manipulated it later in combining with his own transformations to get Super Saiyan Rage.
Right. And until this point, that made the most sense because, again, we still don't know much about Super Saiyan Blue and God Ki and how it works. However, there's one way to debunk that, and it's the fact that when you learn how to use God Ki, the whole idea is you got to be able to not let Ki leak out. So in the situation with Trunks and Vegeta, if that was the case and Vegeta did indeed figure out a way to give him God Ki, which I want to say figure out a way because we don't know if you can actually do that yet, but let's say he figured out a way to do it. It wouldn't make sense because his Ki would have leaked out way before it, because it took them months of training to figure out how to keep the Ki inside him before they're able to control it. So that's kind of like the way I debunked that myself. But again, until this point, there was nothing else that made me think about what's the best way to explain it until now. Kwame! I got a theory. And that theory is, okay, this is going to sound ridiculous. This is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. But again, it's just my own thoughts, and I want to see what people think. Spirit Bomb, Super Saiyan. Genki Dama Super Saiyan. Now it's like, okay, what's your first thoughts when I say those 4 words?
Well, when I hear that, at first it sounds bizarre, but in a way it seems like there could be something behind this.
Right, so let me explain it. Okay, so if you guys noticed, every time we saw Trunks interact with the survivors of his timeline at the time, he was like their hero. It's like every time he showed up, it's like, oh, Trunks, hey, welcome back. How you okay? You're like, thanks for fighting. Thanks for fighting for us. Thanks for doing this for us. Yada yada yada. He was their one hope. And hope and Trunks are 2 words that are very well interlaced. Every time we see Trunks, it's all about hope. I mean, it's even written on his time machine in the initial time when he showed up in Dragon Ball Z, and it still says hope, actually, matter of fact. Hope is like all about Trunks is, right? Now, the question I asked Kwame off air to kind of describe it is, let's say you're watching your favorite sports team or whatever team, esports team, whatever it is. You're watching your favorite content creator. What is it that you do? You show them support. You show that team support. You want that team to win. Kwame, how often do you hold your hands up when you're watching the Heat play?
And pretty often, bro. And I'm always on Twitter checking, seeing what people are saying.
Right. It's like you support your team. You want your team to win, right? You're sending that indirect support. Now, let me just break this down again. What is the Spirit Bomb? Again, quick summary.
Well, it's pretty much like a tag team attack where Goku or whichever user gathers energy throughout the universe or the planet to attain enough power to defeat a particular opponent.
Right. The most infamous one was obviously against Frieza, and the big one was against Kid Buu, where basically, Goku stood there, everybody raised their hands and gave him energy to defeat Kid Buu. Now, this is the theory that came up that kind of explains what the Buu actually is in the Super Saiyan aura, and this makes the most sense to me. And again, if you have a better explanation for this, by all means, feel free to speak down below right now. This is what it is. For the entire duration of Goku Black being on Earth, which was only a year at the time, he was on a mission to kill everybody. But Trunks made sure to be the one at the forefront of that, trying to stop him as much as he could. The androids, they took their sweet time. They found a sense in killing. They enjoyed it. They loved it. And because of that, it took, 17 years? Is that how long they were, terrorizing, something like that?
Approximately 13. And then if you count
13,
3, so
17.
it's more like 16, yeah.
Okay, so 16-ish. It's a lot of years. But they had no mission to kill off the planet. They just wanted to kill. They just enjoyed it. So therefore, not everybody was aware of them. Whereas Goku Black showed up, and in a year's time, he basically managed to dwindle down the population fast. But the entire time Trunks was there, everybody realized Trunks was their only hope, and they kind of put their hope on his shoulders. So they were actually sending him that Ki indirectly. So, and again, this sounds ridiculous, I know, but again, until the Dragon Ball series explains stuff, this is the best way I can make sense of it. What I think actually happened is, over that course of the year, with everybody giving them ki, everybody supporting them, indirectly not even realizing it, I think the blue aura actually is that hope. It's all that ki collected over the course of the time fighting Goku Black, and when he finally tapped into it, that's where it came out. That's why he had such a massive power boost. Now, right now at the time, there's not that many people alive. Did they actually ever explain it in the anime how much people were alive on Earth at the time?
Not from what I remember, but it was definitely an extremely small amount.
Yeah, I think in the manga, they basically said it was a very small amount, but I might be wrong. I don't remember. The point is it wasn't that many people. However, if you're collecting ki for years worth, picture this. Goku, every time he made a Spirit Bomb, over the course of, the 5 minutes he stood there collecting energy, had a lot of power. But imagine you gathering power from all these people who are supporting you over the course of a year. You're going to have a lot of power just sitting there in your reserves. This explains probably the best way how Trunks can go toe-to-toe with people like Zamasu and Goku Black and not get destroyed. He had all the power of the people he collected from the entire time he was fighting Goku Black. So when it came down to like the final stand, where you basically, Zamasu and, Goku Black were telling like, this is your fault, you did this, you got everybody killed. He was like, you know what, screw it, I'm done with this. I'm going to do everything I can to kill you. And that's when he tapped into the power and really brought it out. That's what Super Saiyan Rage is. Well, it's a combination of the Rage, obviously, hence the name Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Ikari. But the actual power source itself is literally the Spirit Bomb version of Super Saiyan. You got the Super Saiyan transformation, which boosts your power as is, but it taps into the ki that he's been collecting for a long time. And now you have enough of an explanation that makes sense how he's able to go toe-to-toe with someone like Goku Black, who literally has, Goku's power of Super Saiyan Blue, just his version, which is Rose. And you also see this again later when he busts out. Not everybody loved this scene. I'm gonna say it right now because again, it's known as the ass pull sword. But when he pulled out the sword once again, you see all the people watching him fight, and he makes the sword that slices Zamasu in half. Again, the key came from the people. Now, I didn't really realize this or think about it because until the DLC came out for Xenoverse 2, I thought the same thing. I was like, maybe Vegeta gave him the key, but again, that never really made sense just because to withhold God Ki and use the God Ki transformation to go Super Saiyan Blue, you have to learn how to not let it leak out. If he would have gotten God Ki because he's not trained, that would have leaked out a long time ago, so that doesn't make any sense. But as I'm watching, the finale, which you can see in the background of the video, the cutscene of everybody sending him ki, which by the way was kind of cool in Xenoverse, Kwame. I'm a quickly small spoiler here. In the Xenoverse DLC, what happens is there was a rift open across time, and everybody across all times and universes, even in Dragon Ball GT World, we're giving him ki, which is kind of weird, but it's Xenoverse, it's a game, it's supposed to be kind of fan servicey. We're giving him energy to do the Spirit Sword, which he used to defeat Zamasu. But as I'm watching this, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Once again, these are the people, everybody around them, putting all their hope, all their ki, all their trust into this one man to stand up for them and defeat them. So if they did that this one time with the sword, they could have been doing it indirectly the entire freaking time just without knowing it. Because like when you're doing a Spirit Bomb, you ask everybody to kind of give you ki, and they have to willingly give it up. But like they were willingly already giving them ki because they wanted him to succeed. So with that said, what do you think about that? I know that's a lot to talk about right there. What do you think about that as far as the explanation to what the blue aura actually is and, what Super Saiyan Rage ultimately has become? Does that make more sense?
Well, the thing is, Mr. Dino Rhymestyle, I would have to say that this makes way more sense than what they gave us with the whole Trunks and Vegeta thing. The only problem I feel with this is that I feel that when you go back and you look at that scene, right, the way Trunks looked at his sword and the way everybody was giving Trunks energy, it's like nobody had a clue what was happening. So it makes sense, but the problem is, it's like, how could that happen if nobody has a clue how it works? You know what I mean? And that's kind of the fault of Super.
Right. I mean, that's the part that's we're supposed to fill in the holes. Because the thing is, like, if you give up a lot of ki in the situation of Goku making the Spirit Bomb against Kid Buu, you got tired. It's like, oh yeah, take my ki, there you go. Oh, snap. The way the humans gave Goku ki in Dragon Ball Z against Kid Buu, they got tired fast. Like, it's like, here's my ki. Oh, snap. It was that easy. Like, it's pretty simple. But in a situation like this, I feel like they didn't give Trunks all their ki at once. They just kind of like, they did their best to survive. And while they were surviving, their role was, support the man that could, save the world, save the future, and rid the world of Zamasu and Goku Black. Or I guess in that situation, Goku Black first. So I think that's what it is. That's probably the best way to explain it. But again, And let's be real, Dragon Ball in reality, all in the end, they try not to be too heavy and complex when it comes down to certain things. It's just a entertainment factor. I mean, as Toriyama always says, the kids will love it. He does a series where anybody can watch it no matter your age. So ultimately, the real explanation is that there is no explanation. But if we have to come up with the best theory, this is the one that I like the most right now. And if you guys have a better one, feel free to share down below. And just remember, the famous one that everybody discussed for the most, and I even believe it as well, was the fact that, oh, you must have gotten God Ki from Vegeta. But again, the only thing that bugs me with that is Goku and Vegeta spent months training with Whis to learn how to basically keep the Ki inside them. And I know Trunks is a prodigy, but I don't think he knows how to do that yet. And with that said, if he would have gotten it, that would have leaked out way before that fight started.
Well, see, Dino, the only thing I can say to that, bro, is you know how Dragon Ball has a history of making people just learn moves out of nowhere. I mean,
that
Goku looks, ever since Dragon Ball, I mean, Goku looks at Master Roshi using Kamehameha, looks at a car and just does it, like, right there. So, this series has a history of doing that.
That is 100% true. That's why I said, at the end of the day, there is no real explanation. But if I have to come up with one that's going to satisfy my inner head, it's this. Basically, the blue is literally just all the energy and ki that he's collected over the time of basically protecting the people on Earth. And there's not that many people left at this point, but remember, if he's collecting ki without knowing for, you know, the span of a year, he's gonna have a lot. He's gonna have a lot of power, and that could also explain why he's gotten so much stronger, you know, when he came back in time. Because like him coming back and being able to go toe to toe with people like Vegeta and Goku and fight Zamasu and hold Zamasu and Goku Black off on his own. This also kind of makes me sleep better at night. So that's kind of what I want to discuss. So with that said, what do you guys think? Is this ridiculous or do you agree? Let us know down below. Kwame, you want to add anything else before we end this? Sorry. Detective Q, you want to add any more evidence in before we end this?
At the end of the day, guys, we're never going to know why. It was kind of an ass pull that Dragon Ball Super did, but I do think that Dino's theory has way more substance than the actual show itself. The only problem is that Super doesn't explain anything!
Sadly. But hey, Dragon Ball has always left these plot holes for us to explain later. I mean, that's the thing about Dragon Ball. It's like you watch Dragon Ball, you go to school next day, and you debate with your friends as to what just happened. It's part of the series. With that said, let me know your thoughts. Is it stupid or not? Do you have a better explanation? Feel free to discuss it down below. And again, be nice to each other. Everybody has an opinion. You're allowed to speak it. And don't kill each other. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm asking for. Hope you guys enjoyed us today. Leave me a like if you enjoyed today's video. And we'll see you guys next time.